Hi everybody! Because my last videos seemed to get a little bit more popular over the past few weeks and a lot more comments have been posted and everyone is asking things like, I just got a new hedgehog, I don't know how to get started, or I've just been seeing a lot of things like that pop up, so I thought it was a good idea to post another video on how to get yourself started when you get a hedgehog. Whenever I first got my very first hedgehog a few years back, I did a lot of research before I ever thought about getting one, and I knew exactly what to do whenever I first got her, and so I just wanted to post my own video to show what I think is a proper way to get started, and just another video to add to all the other videos for you to get started with your new hedgehog. I do have Pip here today. His name is Pippin. He's in his little bed right here. I have him outside of his cage. His cage is currently empty right now because I have all of his stuff pulled out. I cleaned a lot of it to show you guys today, but he's sleeping away. He curled up in a little corner right here. As you can see, his quills are spiked up because he's a little grumpy at me. So the first thing that I would recommend when getting a hedgehog cage is the cage itself. My cage, I first started off with a storage bin actually whenever I got my first hedgehog. She came with the cage and everything in it, which is fine because that's the cheaper route to go. You can get them from Target or Walmart, and it's just a standard, like about 3 feet long, 1.5 feet wide, just enough room where you can fit a cage, food, in a little hideout or sleeping bag den inside. But what I highly recommend the most is what I have now. It's by the brand Living World, I believe. Here's a picture of it right here. It is suited for rabbits originally, because hedgehogs need a lot of room, just as rabbits do as well, and gives you plenty of room to put a wheel, a den, or a sleeping bag, or both. And your food and water dish, as well as any other little extra toys or whatever you want to put in there for them. And it gives them room to run around and such or whatever. You can go about and get an even bigger one too, because they have the double long Living World rabbit enclosure, and that would be even better if you actually have the room for it. I currently live in a college dorm and do not have the room for something that large, but I would love to upgrade to something like that sometime in the future. But something like what I have now costs, actually, it's more on the pricier side. I believe I paid about $70 for it, and I got it on a cheaper discount using one of my sister's discounts at a pet store. So you might find it around $100 or so. But I highly recommend investing in something like that because it has a nice cage. It's completely enclosed, so there's absolutely no chance of getting your critter out. Letting them escape, and the top, it closes, it has this flap that closes up and down, and you can twist it shut so it completely securely locks, and it is really, really nice. And I'll be showing you that later in the video. But the next thing that I highly recommend, I've had many different wheels throughout my life, like hamster wheels and stuff like that, and a huge no-no to wheels in hedgehogs are the wheels that have the cage rolls in them. Cage open, whoa. A huge no-nos to hedgehog wheels are the wire wheels that have the little holes in them, because hedgehogs, they can get their little toes and nails trapped inside, and it could rip their nail out or tear their toe or something like that, and that can cause a lot of harm to them and end up racking up your vet bill or something like that, and you don't want something like that to happen to your hedgehog or your wallet. So I highly recommend getting a large wheel that has completely plastic, no holes whatsoever. Your generic wheel costs you maybe $12 or so. I used to have one that looked like this, but I currently use the Carolina Storm wheel, I believe is what it's called. This is what my wheel looks like now. It's really, really nice. It's the light blue color, so they have so many different kinds that you can choose from. You can get them with the tray like that I have, and it's really nice because it catches any feces or whatever whenever they're running, so you can just clean the tray, and it protects your cage from getting dirtier on any kind of bedding that you use. But I use the tray, which is an extra like $5 or so, and you could even get the wheel itself and go buy this tin. It's just Glade or Glad or whatever you want to call it, and you can go buy it from the store. But I I bought them together, and it's really nice. It's 100% silent. The only thing you'll hear at night is the hedgehog, him or herself, running, like their little feet running on the wheel. That's all you're gonna hear. And it's perfect. Like, I live with a roommate in here, and so far, like, no complaints whatsoever. I haven't had any problems falling asleep. If you have any, like, issues with sound at night or anything, these are by far the quietest wheel I think that you'll possibly find, and probably the safest too for your hedgehog. Yeah. And my hedgehog actually has absolutely no problem climbing inside of this. My hedgehog actually has no problem climbing inside the lip of this to get to this. I hear him running every night, so far he's had absolutely no issues with this wheel, and I love it a lot, and it fits perfectly inside the cage that I have. Next is what I use for my hedgehog to sleep in during the day, because hedgehogs are nocturnal. Currently I have this, this sleeping bag right here. It's pretty large, but it fits my hedgehog in 100%, and he has all this extra room to cuddle and get cozy in. And it's actually reversible as well if you want it to be dark blue. I'll post a link of the website where I found all these sleeping bags, but you can easily make them yourself as well with any kind of fleece. It's very, very thick because it's currently winter here, and it's like 30 degrees outside, and hedgehogs do not like the cold. So I try to keep him as warm as possible, and so he sleeps in the sleeping bag during the winter, and he loves it a lot. I'm always finding him like cozied up in it in different ways and all snuggly, and he's very, very happy with it. So I just place this in there however he wants, and he'll move it around, he'll bite on it and drag it around wherever he wants, and it's great. But I highly recommend getting a sleeping bag. I highly recommend getting a sleeping bag for your hedgehog made out of complete fleece. They're really great. You can just throw them in the wash if they ever get dirty. I would just pull them out completely where it's like looks inverted, like you could pull them out both ways, throw it in the wash, and then it'll get clean 100% inside and out. So they're fantastic. When it comes to dishes, I use food bowls, like for food and water. I am very against using the water bottles that you can hook onto your cage. These cages actually come with like a bunch of stuff, mainly for rabbits, and I don't use any of it. I don't use the bowls it comes with, or the bowl it comes with, because it's really big, and I also don't use the water bottle it comes with because I've read stories before where hedgehogs, since they have very poor vision, hedgehogs will be running around in their cage, and I've read a story where one particular hedgehog ran into the nozzle of the water bottle and it poked his eye out, and he ended up having to get it removed. And I don't want that to happen to any of my hedgehogs, so I think the safest way to go about is using just regular glass bowls. I fill it up with water every night, and this one with his food, and he's good to go, and he's never had any problems. When they're little, like little babies, I would recommend getting smaller dishes than this because you don't want them to get water in their nose or anything like that, but so far he's had absolutely no problems whatsoever. So I veer away from hedgehog food, like hedgehog food. I used to do it for my old hedgehog, but she ended up having a lot of problems, and so far I tried doing cat food this time, and Pippin has been doing great, and I want him to stay that way, and so far I'm just going to keep it like that. But now I'm mixing these two together, like half Simply Nourish, half, what is this one? Naturally Complete Whole Earth Farms is what this brand is called. And I do like half a scoop of that and half a scoop of this, and I mix them together until this one's out, because this one is almost completely out. And I've been doing it for a long time now to wean them off, kind of like you do with dogs. I imagine you do that with hedgehogs too. I just didn't want to upset his stomach or anything, so I figured that's the safest way to go about doing it. But this is small. This is a small package, but it's gonna last forever. It's a hedgehog. He doesn't eat too much. I use, as strange as this is, I use one of the Starbucks caps as my measuring things, like those Frappuccino, glass Frappuccino bottles. I use this as my measuring thing, and I usually do like around 2 scoops of these. 1 scoop of here, 1 scoop of that one together, and I put them in that glass bowl. And he's really good about pacing himself eating. He's not like an overeater. He doesn't eat too much, or he doesn't continue eating when he's full. Like when I wake up, sometimes he still has food left in his bowl. So if he does, I don't put 2 more scoops in. I'll just put in like 1 scoop or 1.5 scoops or whatever that would equal that out. So I never try and overfeed him, and he's at a great weight where he is, and he's doing pretty well. But this is also about an equal amount as this one right over here. This is the what is this? This is probably about the same thing. I try to keep them relatively the same so it didn't upset them too much. This is just the real chicken grain-free recipe. You always want to stay clear, I've heard, of any fish recipe. That makes them smelly. I had my old hedgehog, no, I had him on a fish recipe at the very beginning when I first got him, when he was 5 weeks old. And he was pretty smelly, and I switched him off of that actually. And so far, the only thing that ever smells is whenever I need to start like cleaning his cage. His cage is the only thing that sometimes starts to smell, and I'm like, oh, I need to go clean that. Another cage necessity, very important, is a thermometer. Unless you have one like in your room and you know what the temperature of the room is. Like right now, my room is 72.1 degrees. Hedgehogs typically like the room to be a little bit warmer, like around 75 degrees if possible, but because this is a dorm and it's really hard to maintain temperature, and you're not allowed to have heat lamps and things like that, 72, and now it's saying 73.6, but it's always good to have a thermometer and know what your temperature is, because you never want it to fall under 68, and that's kind of pushing it, but keep it in the mid 70s if possible, because hedgehogs are from Africa, or these African pygmy hedgehogs are from Africa, and they're used to warm climates, and that's the best for them. So one of the last things I use is the cleaning supplies to clean all my things. I just use regular dish soap, Dawn, and well, that's what I have been using. This is actually my roommate's, and I stole it today. I usually have my own. And just like a toilet scrubber, and I just scrub everything down whenever I need to. It's usually once a week on like Sundays or something whenever I don't have anything going on. But yeah, it's really easy. I take it into like a shower, I put it on hot, and I just scrub everything down, and everything comes clean, and it takes no longer than 10 or 15 minutes out of my day. But yeah, one of the last things that is really important is the bedding of your cage. Pippin, what are you doing, buddy? Oh my god, what is happening? One of the things that's really important is the bedding of your cage. As I'm showing in this video right here, I use a fleece pad, and I actually have like multiple of these, and right now this one's kind of dirty and I need to throw it in the wash, like shake it out and throw it in the wash and whatever. But I exchange these out because it's the best for their feet, and it's the best for the environment, I think, and it's really comfortable and it's warm. Sometimes I use Carefresh, which is like really soft newspaper, like really soft old like newspaper-ish material, and it's really it's a lot healthier and more natural for them as well, and it's disposable, so that's easier too. But it's more on the pricey side. It's like $20 for a big bag of it, and this is just the cheaper route that you could just throw in the wash. So I like using the fleece lining pads that you could just get from Joann's Fabric or Hobby Lobby or Michael. Pippin, he's about to bite me. He licks my hands a lot. That I know that you're supposed to avoid is the wood chipped bedding. Just in general, pine is really bad for their lungs, is what from what I remember. But in general, all of them is bad. Just stay clear from it. I would stick to Carefresh or any generic brand related to Carefresh. I know there's other ones too that you can find that might be cheaper, and there might be some more expensive. I'm not sure. I don't use it very often, but I typically recommend the fleece padding route. That's what I use, and it's always worked best for me, and it's the cheapest way to go. But yeah, I think that's oh my god, I think that's all I have to say today. Pippin's getting really active right now. He's waking up on me. But thanks for watching and sticking with me. I hope you learned a lot today, and good luck with your new hedgehog, and I hope you had a lot of fun. I'll see you around next time, and if you have any ideas for new videos or any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I love replying, and I usually am pretty good at that, and yeah, thanks for watching.